Good morning, student. Today we will be doing the last part of Ishwaran the storyteller. Already we have completed 3/4 part of the lesson. And children, before describing the last part, I would like to tell you something about children. That it is written by R.K. Lakshman, and I would like to tell you about the important points of the story. So, Mahinder, there are two important characteristics here. One is Mahinder, okay, and he is doing a job of a junior supervisor in a firm. And then Ishwaran, since he don't have time for his domestic work, so he has hired a cook, and basically he's not a cook, he does all sorts of work in his house, like washing clothes, utensils, okay, to take care of house. So he is Ishwaran. So now let's start with what is Mahinder job, what does he do, where he goes every day, and why he is so busy. So Mahinder was a junior supervisor in a firm. The firm offered or on hire supervisor as construction. So children, he was a junior supervisor in a firm, and that firm used to children hire supervisor for their construction sites, like where they were making factories or bridges or road, or sometime dams, or at the railway station or near the industries. So anywhere they can send the person to whom they had hired. So Mahinder job was, he was a junior supervisor, he has to report and he has to watch each and everything there. So Mahinder job was to keep an eye on the activities, what was happening there at the work, and he had to make report. And then children, finally he had to move to other places also, then to other. So, and he was a bachelor, he could adjust himself to all these things. He did not have a family, so children, there was no problem with him all like this. Now, since Ishwaran was very busy, so he had to keep a cook for himself. He did not have time for cooking or washing his clothes, and he was a bachelor also. He did not have anyone in the family. He was living alone in that construction site. So in that case, he needed very badly, and hence he had to keep a cook. And what was the name of that cook? It was Ishwaran. So Mahinder had a cook named Ishwaran, and he was really an amazing person. Ishwaran had an amazing capacity to produce vegetables and cooking things from nowhere. Children, if suppose if vegetables were not used to be there at house, or some things was not there at the house, so children, from where? Because that area was a remote area, and very hardly any shops were there, but he used to manage and bring everything, and he used to prepare very tasty dishes within with the fresh vegetable, and that also too quickly. Within an hour he used to children cook everything. Mahinder would go to work early in the morning with some food, so he would go to work early in the morning with some food. And Ishwaran job, after Mahinder's departure, Ishwaran job also starts. He would make up the shade means where he was living, he would clean, he would wash the clothes, he would take it, and then he would wash the utensil, he will broom the floor and everything, and afterward children, he would take a bath in a very relaxed manner. uh, so Ishwaran method of narrating story. And then children, after that he would doze off. After taking a bath, and while taking a bath he would pray also, and then he would had his nice lunch, and then he will go and read Tamil thriller stories, and then children, he would doze off after lunch. He had a strange method of narrating the story. His story had the effect of the thriller. Now children, Ishwaran method of narrating the story. Okay. One day Ishwaran told a story of a tusker. One day a tusker escaped from the timber yard. It roamed here and there. So now Ishwaran method of narrating stories was really very exciting, in a very thrilling manner, in a very nice manner. He used to tell the story, and children, even while telling the story, he used to jump, he used to stamp his feet like the elephant, like Tusker's story when he was telling, he used to stamp his feet on the ground like the elephant. So very strange way he used to tell the story. Ishwaran had a strange way of narrating even the smallest incident. He would work up his he would work up his suspense. He would add a surprising end. This was because he was very imaginative. Mahendra would listen to him uncritically. Now Ishwara narrates the story of a Tusker. Now one day narrator comes in, and in the evening Ishwaran told him the story of a Tusker. One day a Tusker escaped from the time timber yard. So there was a timber yard. Lot of Tusker used to be there. So one day one Tusker escaped from the timber yard. It roamed here and there. It tore up creepers and broke branches. Ishwaran would get so affected with the story that he would jump here and there, and sometimes he would beat his feet on the floor like a tusker only. Like, what is the meaning of tusker? Elephant. So the tusker create panic among the people. Now that tuskers goes where the habitant, where the people were living, and he creates panic among the people. Okay, so he reaches the town and he started smashing all the stalls of fruits, breaking the mud pots. People ran here and there, and after some time there was a complete silence as if nobody was living there. So the student hid themselves in the classroom, and from there children he ran inside the school. The student ran, hid themselves in the classroom. The streets were empty. Ishwaran was then a junior student in the school. He did not know what happened to him, and children there, the Tusker started destroying basketball court, football goal. Okay, then he had destroyed a drum where the student used to drink water. All the people, the teachers and the student hid themselves in the classroom, and many person went to the terrace of the school. Now Ishwaran was at that time, he was a boy in the junior school, junior student, and suddenly what happened to Ishwaran we don't know, but he snatched a cane from a teacher and he silently went to the elephant. The elephant grunted and stamped its feet. The people were hypnotized. Then Ishwaran struck the elephants. He struck on the toenail of the elephant. It shivered from head to foot and fell down. A veterinary doctor was called. After 2 days, the tusker was taken by the Mahavath. Ishwaran was asked how he did that. He told he did so with a Japanese art, karate or jitsu. Now, Ishwaran, other story of a ghost. One day, Ishwaran told Mahendra something about the place. The factory area was once a burial ground, and he himself had seen lot of skulls and bone. When he used to go to the path, he saw so many skulls were lying there. He also saw ghost at night. He was not frightened as he was brave, but there appeared a horrible ghost of a woman. It had matted hair and dried up face. It was ugly. It held a fetus in her hand. Now, hearing Ishwaran, Mahesh shivered. He called Ishwaran crazy. He told him that there are no ghost and spirit, and there were no souls. These were the product of the mind. These are simply our imagination. He asked Ishwaran to let himself medically examined. Mahendra then retired for the night. Mahendra was affected. From that time, Mahendra was feeling uneasiness. It seems that he was also affected. So every night he peered into the darkness to see if there was any movement or not. He always liked to admire the sky on full moon nights. But after that incident, he never dared to see outside the window. So children, one day Mahinder was sleeping. He was almost asleep, and he was awakened up from his sleep by a moon. It was near his window. He resisted to look, but the wailing became louder and louder. So he did not wanted to look, but the wailing became louder and louder. He looked outside and he saw a dark, cloudy form. That means a shadow. It was clutching a bundle. That means it was carrying something in her hand. He perspired. That means his whole body was sweating and panted. Later, he thought that it might have been some trick from his subconscious mind. He also thought, children, in the morning, he consoled himself. He told that it must be some trick from his subconscious mind. Mahinder decided to leave the place. Next morning, Mahinder was ready to go to office. The horror of the night had faded, but Ishwaran came to him. He told him about the ghost. He told Mahinder that he also heard the moon the previous night. He saw him to see the ghost himself. A chill went down Mahinder's body. He went to office the next morning. He handed his paper and determined to leave the haunted place the very next day. So children, these were important points, and today we will do the children the last part of the lesson. Okay, we are here at the last paragraph, that is page number 16. That children, when Mahinder told the description of that lady ghost, okay, who was carrying a fetus in her hand, he was very angry and he started shouting him. He told Ishwaran that you are a crazy fellow. There are no such thing as ghost or spirits. He told there is no such thing as ghost or spirits. It is all a figment of your imagination. And he told to get your digestive system. He told children that get your digestive system examined. Now, and your head should be examined as well. You are talking nonsense. Now, then he left the room and retired for the night, expecting Ishwaran to sulk for a couple of days. Sulk means angry. So he thought now Ishwaran would be sulking, he would be angry, he would be irritating for many days. But children, next day when he got up, he was surprised to find Ishwaran, the cook, as cheerful and talkative as ever. From that day on, Mahindra's, for all his brave talk, went to bed with a certain uneasiness. Now, though Mahindra told the cook, Ishwaran, he told Ishwaran that these things are simply the imagination of the mind. But from that day, he was feeling uneasiness. Okay. Every night he peered into the darkness outside through the window next to his bed. Now, page number 17, children. So, every night when he used to go to bed, he used to look outside through the window next to his bed, trying to make sure that there was no movement of dark shape in the vicinity. And children, he wanted to prove that there are nobody there around the dark shapes in the around the around his house. Nobody is there, but he could only see a sea of darkness with the twinkling lights of the factory miles away. Now he could only see a sea of darkness with the twinkling lights of the factory miles away. He had always liked to admire the milk white landscape on full moon nights, but after hearing Ishwaran's story of the female ghost, he avoided looking out of the window altogether when the moon was full. He had always liked to admire the milk white landscape on full moon nights, but after hearing Ishwaran's story of the female ghost, he avoided looking out of the windows altogether when the moon was full. Angela and Ishwaran told that lady ghost come in the full moon night, so he never used to see that during the time of full moon night. He dared not see outside the window. Now children, what happened? The second last paragraph of page number 17. One night Mahinder was woken up from his sleep by a low moan close to his window. So one night Mahinder was sleeping and he was woken up from his sleep by a low moan. Okay, low crying like things which was coming closer from his window. At first, he put it down to a cat crawling around for mice. At first, he thought that cat must be hunting for a mice, but the sound was so guttural for a cat. He resisted the curiosity to look out lest he should behold a sight which would stop his heart. Now, he did not want to look outside because he knew that if he will look, his heart might fail. But the wailing became louder and less feline. Now, children, now the wailing was becoming louder. It was not looking as if the cat is crying. He would not resist the temptation anymore. Now he could not resist his temptation to look outside, and he started looking, lowering himself to the level of the window. Still means the level of the window. He looked out at the white sheet of moonlight outside. He lowered his body to the level of the window. He bent and he looked outside. There was a white sheet of moonlight, that means full moonlight was there outside. There, not too far away, was a dark, cloudy form clutching a bundle. And children, what did he see? The most terrible thing, the most horrible thing. A shadow was there, a most cloudy form of a human being was there, which was clutching a bundle. Which was clutching means catching a bundle. That bundle might be the fetus, and that shadow was of that lady ghost. There, not too far away, was a dark, cloudy form clutching a bundle. Mahinder broke into a cold sweat and fell back on the pillow, panting. Now, Mahinder was so shocked. He was so frightened that he fell back on the pillow, panting. As he gradually recovered from the ghastly experience, he began to reason with himself and finally concluded that it must have been some sort of auto-suggestion, some trick that his subconscious mind had played on him. Now, again, children, after some time, he started telling himself that it is subconscious mind had some played or trick on him. By the time he had got up in the morning, had a bath, and come out to have his bath, now children, he wanted to forget everything. Now was the time to have a bath and leave for the office, um, and come out to have his breakfast. The horror of the previous night had faded from his memory. Ishwaran greeted him at the door with his lunch packet and his bag. Just as Mahinder was stepping out, Ishwaran grinned and said, "Sir, remember the other day when I was telling you about the female ghost with a fetus in its arm? You were so angry with me for imagining things." Now, it was Mahinder who told him, "Sir, that day when I was telling you about female ghost with a fetus in her arms, you were very much angry with me. Um, you were so angry with me for imagining things. When you saw her yourself last night, I came running, hearing the sound of moaning that was coming from your room." A chill went down Mahinder's spine. He did not wait for Ishwaran to complete his sentence. He hurried away to his office, handed on his paper, and told that he would be children. He was resolved. That means he was determined to leave that haunted place the very next day. Now, children, nothing is. This is a story is related with supernatural thing, but nothing is related that nothing is being confirmed that it was his imagination or he had seen the real ghost. Nothing has been confirmed here. Okay. So with this, I end my chapter here, and now we will go for some question and answer. Okay, so first textual question and answer. In what way is Ishwaran an asset to Mahinder? Ishwar is an asset to Mahinder because he works for him. He cooks his food and washes his clothes. He packs food for him also. He is a good entertainer. He chats with him. He thus provide him a good entertainment. How does Ishwaran describe the uprooted tree on the highway? What effect does he want to create to his listener? Ishwaran describes the uprooted tree with dramatic effects. He raises his hand and eyebrows. He builds up suspense by his description. Then he said that he saw something huge like a bushy beast. It lay spreading across the road. It affects his listeners emotionally also. They were easily affected. How does he narrate the story of the tusker? Does it appear to be possible? He narrates the story of the tusker with great confidence. First, he builds up a sound background for it. With this, the story seems convincing. It is because there is some supernatural in the incident. And then children, while telling the story, he used to jump, the way he used to express his feeling, and by sometimes by stepping his feet, he used to do all. Why does the author say that Ishwaran seemed to more than make up for the absence of a TV in Mahendra's living quarter? The author says it rightly because Ishwaran is a good narrator. So Ishwaran is a very good narrator. He is also an entertainer. The TV is also an entertainer. Ishwaran builds up suspense slowly. This affects Mahendra. He starts taking interest in his story. This is all like the TV, so Mahendra does not need it. Mahendra is called ghost or spirit, a figment of the imagination. What happened to him on a full moon night? Mahendra called ghost or spirits a figment of the imagination, but on a full moon night, Mahendra sees a cloudy form clutching a bundle. He thinks it the female ghost. She is clutching a fetus. Ishwaran has told of it to Mahendra earlier also, so he sees it and breaks into a cold sweat. Now question number 6. Can you think of some other ending of this story? Of course, children, this question is totally, it depends upon you, but we can write the story can end like this. Mahendra now decide to take Ishwaran to task. He tells Ishwaran that there are no ghosts. What one thing remains in the subconscious mind for long. When such situation arise, one start fencing the things of one's subconscious level. There are no ghosts worth the name. Now I am going to discuss, children, some important question. How did Ishwaran add a prologue to his story of an elephant? Okay, so Ishwaran described the place before actually beginning the story. He said that the place was a thickly wooded forest. The logs were carried by elephants on lorries when they turned wild. Even the most skilled Mahavat could not control them. So children, he knew how to build a nice background of the story. What were the effect of Ishwaran's story of a ghost woman on Mahendra's? When did he start doing from that day? Ishwaran's story of a ghost woman had affected Mahendra. From that day he went to bed with uneasiness. Every night he peered into the dark outside. He tried to make sure that there was no movement of dark shape in the area, so he was full of fear within. Now children, some long question I am going to describe. Describe the Ishwaran amazing capacity of narrating a story and anecdotes. So children, nice question. Ishwaran had a strange method of narrating a story. These were greatly influenced by the Tamil authors that he read. He would also add up the dramatic gesture to make the story interesting. He would work in suspense. He would also give a surprise, and he would get caught up in the excitement of his own story. He would also jump and stamp his feet in excitement. Ishwar never told anything in a simple way. For example, instead of saying that he had come across an uprooted tree, he would say it differently. He would give it a human shape. He would say the road was deserted and I was alone. Suddenly, I spotted something like a huge bushy beast. It was spread across the road. When I went near it, I found it was a fallen tree. Give a brief account of the story of a tusker as narrated by Ishwaran. How did he control it as he told? Now, children, the tusker story and the story which was there, that horrible, that full moon night, both can come in the long question, these two incidents. So, Ishwaran told a story of a tusker. One day he escaped. So, children, Ishwaran told a story of a tusker one day escaped from the timber yard. He began to roam here and there. He stamped on bushes, tore up wild creepers and broke branches. He then reached the outer skirt of the town. He broke fences like matchstick. He also smashed fruit stall, mud pots and tore up the cloths. People ran here and there. There was a complete silence on the road as if nobody was there. Then he entered the school. The student ran into the classroom. The teacher climbed up to the school terrace. The streets were empty. Ishwaran could not contain himself seeing all this. He was a junior student. Then he caught a cane from the hands of a teacher. He went up and down and into the open. The elephant looked at him with red eyes. He trumpeted loudly. Then Ishwaran struck his third toenail quickly. The beast looked. Ishwaran, he came very slowly towards the elephant and he hit on the toenail of the elephant. The beast looked as stunned. He shivered from head to foot and fell down. Now children, this is also one of the most important incident which can come in your examination of long question. Describe the horrible experience of Mahinder during the full moon night, or what happened to Mahinder during the full moon night. Why did he resolve to leave the place? There is no doubt that Mahinder's mind was uneasy. This was after he heard Ishwaran's story of a female ghost. He would look out into the night to see any such thing. One night he was woken up by a low moan. It was near his window. He thought it could be of a cat, but the wailing became louder and louder. He then looked out at the white sheet of moonlight outside. There he saw a cloudy form clutching a bundle. His mind was under a grip of a fear. He thought this was the female ghost. She was clutching a fetus. Ishwaran had told Mahinder about this female ghost earlier also. So Mahinder broke into a cold sweat. He was perspired. He fell back on the pillow panting. Next morning he had forgotten about it, but Ishwaran reminded him again about the previous night incident, that how that lady ghost has come with a fetus in his hand. In her hand, a chill went down Mahinder's body. He decided to leave that haunted place the very next day. So children, this is all about the long question. Few important questions I would like to discuss again. Then children, this can also come, what did Ishwaran do after Mahinder's left for work? So Ishwaran was Mahinder's cook. Mahinder would get up early in the morning because he was very busy. He used to leave for work after breakfast. He carried his cooked food with him. After his departure, Ishwaran would clean the shed and wash the clothes. He would do other domestic jobs. Then he would take a bath, or at leisure he would use many buckets of water. While taking his bath, he used to utter a prayer. It would be lunchtime. Then after eating, so student, what Ishwaran was Mahinder's cook. Mahinder would get up early in the morning because he was very busy. He used to go for his work. He used to leave for work after breakfast. He carried his cooked food with him, and after his departure, Ishwaran would clean the shed and wash the clothes, wash the utensil, and all the domestic job he will do. Then he would take a bath at leisure. He would use many buckets of water. While taking his bath, he used to utter a prayer also. It would be lunchtime then. After eating, he would read for a while before dozing off. Dozing off means sleep. The book was usually some popular Tamil thriller. It would run to hundreds of pages. He would read it with an inventive brain. And so with this, then he would, in the evening, he would he would serve lunch for Mahinder, and he would start telling the tale also of whatever children like the Tusker tale he used to tell after coming from office. And then he told that tale also about children, the ghost tale, the lady ghost tale, which used to come during the time of moonlit night. Then what made Mahinder's resolve to leave the haunted place the very next day? This can come in a small question, children. Mahinder had almost forgotten the horror of the previous night, but in the morning Ishwaran asked him if he remembered the female ghost. He was frightened. He decided to leave that haunted place. So children, this is all. and still the writer has not mentioned in the end that he had seen the ghost or it was really the imagination of the mind, subconscious mind. Children, what I believe, it was the conscious of his subconscious mind, and since Ishwaran had told and discussed, so that thing was keep coming on his mind. So with this, children, I conclude my video here. Thank you and have a nice day ahead.